Hey, welcome back to my kitchen. I found my hat. It's not pink, but this will work. Today, I'm gonna be making for you Jamaican stewed peas my way. Notice I said my way, Auntie C's way. Stay tuned. For stew peas, ingredients. So we have our red kidney beans. This one was frozen. Like I said, I boil a whole pack of kidney beans and I freeze them in small packages. It's been thawing since morning, but it doesn't really matter if it's thawed or frozen. We're just gonna cook it either way. Then we have a pack of coconut milk. Then about 4 teaspoons of flour. We have peppers, red and orange, green and yellow, and we have green onions, red onions, and a scotch bonnet pepper. Then we have pumpkin or pumpkin cousin and carrots in this container. And then for our other seasonings, we're using chili powder, smoked paprika. I'm gonna try the hot honey seasoning in this one. We're gonna use Cajun. I don't have any garlic, and since I'm gonna be using a little bit of salt too, I have garlic salt powder, so that's the replacement. And of course my Maggi all-purpose. Now I'm on the last little bit, so I'm hoping this serves for this meal. And essentials in my kitchen: peppers, onions, and all-purpose. You can do anything with those ingredients, just your peppers and onions and all-purpose. Everything else is just a little addition for taste. So let's get cooking. So first things first, we're gonna melt just about a teaspoon or 2 of coconut oil, and then we're gonna saute our veggies there for about 5 minutes before adding our peas. All right, there we have it. I think that coconut oil gives the most flavor. After we're done cooking and eating, you taste that and this Grace virgin coconut oil leaves a flavor. There are some other brands, but you smell it while it cooks, but after you're done you don't taste it. But this one, it leaves that taste. All right, so it's melting. We're just gonna add our veggies, and I will get my tripod soon so I don't have to be holding the phone with my hand. Right now I'm multitasking. Oh, look at all those colors. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so we're just going to mix all these around. It will come to heating mode soon, but we will give it some time. And then while this gets cooking, I will get started on the dumplings. Now you're going to ask me, so what protein are you using in your stew peas? So some will say I use a little bit of corn, or a little bit of stew beef, or some chicken. But I've tried chicken before. I've tried veggie chunks before, and my family doesn't really like anything else in the stew peas but just peas. So how are you going to make it flavorful? By adding all of these natural veggies and a little bit of powdered seasoning, and you will not miss any meat kind at all. It's so flavorful, it's so delicious. You will ask for more. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this to cook for about 5 minutes before adding the peas, and I'm gonna start on the dumplings. Okay, so here's the secret to the dumpling. Instead of just using your flour just like that, we're gonna add a little bit of coconut milk to the flour, so that when you bite into these, you just don't taste flour. You have a boost of that seasoning as well. And I'm gonna add a little bit of all-purpose. So just about, I finished my all-purpose in the dumpling. So now, oh no, I'm gonna have to use the other all-purpose seasoning I have to season the stew peas. But yeah, just about a quarter of the pack of the coconut milk. Mix it in with the flour. We're gonna use the rest of the coconut milk at the end of it. But add that in your flour, a little bit of all-purpose. We're gonna knead it. We're gonna make some little roly dumplings, and we're gonna drop them in after the peas is put in the pot. So my seasoning is now ready. I'm just gonna add the peas and then let that cook down for another little minute or two. Okay, so my veggies were cooked halfway through. The peas, most of this is thawed already. There's just a little chunk left that needs to thaw out, but once the heat touches that, then we should be good. So I'm gonna leave this for like 5 minutes before I start seasoning the pot with my powdered seasoning. Add a little bit of water if you didn't have enough water in your frozen peas. So just add a little bit more water, and then once this comes to a boil, remember the peas are already cooked, so we don't want to leave this on for our next however long and make everything overcooked. So as soon as this gets thawed out, we should be ready to add seasonings and be done. This meal takes like 20 minutes or 30 minutes maximum, given that the main ingredient is pre-cooked. So we'll leave this for a little bit. The pumpkin, these pumpkin pieces or squash pieces or whatever they call them, they cook pretty easy too. So by the time the peas get thawed out, this part of it should be ready. Okay, so the peas fully thawed out. I've added a teaspoon of each of the seasonings, the powdered seasonings I showed you before, and now everything is coming to a boil. My scotch bonnet did not pop, and I like it when it popped to give me that little bit of spice. So I just cut it open. So while this cooks through, I'm just gonna leave it for 5 minutes. Let it cook for a bit. My dough is resting, so I'm just gonna make my dumplings in 5 minutes and drop them in the pot. But already this is so flavorful already. I tasted it. You just have to season to taste. Don't make it too salty, and you don't want it underwhelmed with salt either, because there is no meat kind there. You don't need meat kind. If you want to, you can add, but you don't really need anything else. Your peas got lots of protein and fiber. So for this one, I'm gonna cover it and let it cook now for another 5 minutes, and then we'll check on it. All right, you know it's ready when the squash starts, or the pumpkin starts giving it the color. So now we have that orangey color. What I did was to just mash a few of the pumpkin chunks along the sides of the pot to kind of make the gravy a little bit thicker. So now I'm gonna add my not spinners I call them roly dumplings to the pot. All right, I get some help with the recording. So these are the roly dumplings I'm talking about. You just roll them in the palm of your hands until they're like little strings. Just pinch a little bit of the flour, roll them out, drop them in the pot. This way they cook through super fast, so they're not raw, because we don't have much time left before we overcook our peas. So we're adding this at the last bit. So after this, there's one more step. I'm gonna add a few of these because we kind of love them. So just about 10 more I think, and then we're done. Okay, all my roly dumplings are in. I'm gonna let them cook now for another 8 to 10 minutes, and then last but not least, we have to add a little bit more coconut. So I'm just gonna add some more coconut milk, cook that down another 3 minutes, and we are done. All right, that nice rich color. Now we're gonna add our coconut milk mixture, and then we're gonna stir it and make sure your dumplings are not sticking at the bottom of the pot. So we're gonna mix this around for a little bit, and then in 3 minutes we are done. And there it is. Stewed kidney beans, stewed peas, vegetarian, vegan, whatever you want to call it. Jamaican. It's Jamaican because I'm Jamaican. But it's ready. It's nice and thick. I'm going to take out my scotch bonnet now that I have used all of it, just so nobody complains. And it looks delicious. We'll plate this up and then we will have dinner. And there you have it, stewed peas served with some rice and some spring veggies, cucumbers. Look at the roly dumplings. Time for dinner. Thanks for watching. I hope you try it. Stewed peas my way, and you can do it your way as well. Whatever seasoning you want to use, whatever you want to add, whatever you want to minus, it works perfectly fine. Perfect meal. Thank you. See you next time.